evening and welcome. This is the April 2015 members meeting, Airstream. Welcome along, we're streaming live again. Hopefully it's all working nice for you guys at home as well. This evening, a bit of an update on what we've been doing. We have a presentation from the young Sam Greenwood on a project he's been working on, which is a kind of like a stumbling toolkit for any device. That's the intention. He'll show you more about that in a minute. We'll have a network update as well and some news about Ingle Farm, which was recently had some modifications done down there. In other news, we did a presentation last night, in fact, at the SMB IT Professionals monthly meeting, I think it is. Yeah, every month they have that meeting on a Tuesday, which was very successful, and obviously they share a lot of commonalities with their technical background, so they were quite interested in Airstream and wanted to hear more about us. So thanks to those guys for hosting us last night as well. That was really good to meet you all, and maybe we'll see some of you here soon. That would be good. And of course, you know, we're always open to doing presentations for other clubs and interested parties about Airstream, the history of how we came about and what we're aiming to do in the future. So if you're watching this now and you think that might be interesting for your club or social club or whatever, give us a contact. You can find our website details and just whatever, find an email. And we'd be happy to come and tell you more. What else is happening? I was going to also mention Aslan. There should be an Aslan date announced very soon for the next one, which will be within a month or so, I'm sure.
Has it been announced already?
I'm not sure. I didn't confirm the date with those guys earlier, but there's also mention of a Dota competition. So if you are into that from a gaming perspective, I think they're still contemplating whether or not they'll go ahead as far as numbers are concerned. So get in touch with either the Aslan team or the committee about that if you're a hardcore Dota fan or if you've got a group of friends that are involved in that as well. There's apparently cash prizes and they're trying to get a bit of a decent turnout for that. Hey, testing the stream out? We're good, excellent. So I don't have to repeat all that again, that's good. So what else tonight? I know there was something else I needed to mention. Yes, the Airzine there's another issue of the Airzine in production, so if you've got an article or something you wanted to share with the rest of the club about your experience with wireless technology or anything really related, get in touch with us. Necron at Airstream is the guy to get in touch with specifically for the Airzine. As far as putting the content together, I know he's already got some ideas for articles, but there's always room for more. And we haven't seen one of them in a while, so it'll be good for to see another Airzine come out. So that's pretty much it from me. I'll hand it over to someone. Do you want to go into the Ingle Farm update first, perhaps, or are you ready with your demo?
Either or.
All right, how about we... Sorry? Sure. Who are you dobbing in for that? Just there?
No.
Who are you running up here? No, you're here, mate. All right, I'll leave you with... Oh, he's getting ready for something else. You were going to give us the update on that, mate.
I'll find the YouTube.
Let's start with the YouTube clip.
There's a YouTube clip. All right, brilliant.
Is it just on the YouTube channel, Airstream?
Yeah.
Is
will
it
be.
published?
Find out. Yeah, no, yeah, maybe. Now you're asking the questions. I will.
That's not it.
What are we asking?
Yeah, I had that before, mate.
Oh, the YouTubes.
I'm just making it published. It's not.
I watched it, so.
Nothing like pre-planning.
That's the channel. YouTube.com/Airstream Wireless, all one word. We're putting up the meeting streams on there, and we're going to start putting up some other content as well, such as what you... He's only just published it, so it might not come up yet.
Who knows how fast that is playing out.
I wonder if we can replay today's meeting in real time.
Give you
Would that cause like some kind of rift in the time continuum if we did that?
yes.
Something
Just don't Google.
dividing by
I
zero.
get like sucked into the screen or something? There you go.
Hey,
So there's a bit of a time lapse from the install.
you got sound too. That works.
Still pretty easy to drop, DJ. Still easy to drop.
Trap people on that, you have to tell them.
Yeah, like 3 weeks after the ankle, that was it. Yeah, look at me go. This one is going to want to be like fine. This one has nothing on it.
Yeah, that's all right.
So that was a, just about to get in camera.
Oh, and then there's a bathroom afterwards. It's not
Like the renovations, I'll actually close that'll fire up. So that was a little snippet of the first part of the Ingle Farm upgrade. Unfortunately, we had some rain, so the camera had to get moved and then didn't have time to put it back, so I didn't get to see them put back up. So according to that video, Ingle Farm is down, but we did complete it. It's all back up and running. So 2 weeks ago, I think it was, Ingle Farm suddenly went offline. We knew that the type of cable that was there had some known issues, but nothing had eventuated. And after those huge storms that came through, suddenly half of Ingle Farm was offline. So we had some people stand out there to have a look and found water had run all the way down the cables and into the routers and blown everything up. So went, maybe it's time to do something. So we scheduled a big, basically recable and shield everything all at the same time. What had actually happened, and I brought along one of the dishes here, is we had nearly the very first batch of tough cable was deployed at Ingle Farm because we decided to step up and install the tough cable, better shielding, supposed to be outdoor, weatherproof, etc. We learnt a couple months after that there had been a bit of a recall on some cabling because they'd forgotten to mix the outer coating correctly and it would then perish. So what we have, I wonder if I can get it on camera, who knows, and I think they're both fixed. Basically what you have is a spray painted on coating to an effect. All the cable had just split the whole way down, so what was happening is capillary action. Basically, water would hit the cable, get sucked into it, and then work its whole way down. Didn't matter how many drip loops we had, wherever else the cabling was going, because the top part was taller than the bottom part, it just all worked its way down and straight in the back of the routers. So you can all have a look at how brittle it is, and there'll end up being absolutely nothing left on it afterwards. But yeah, Chris and a few others would just literally grab the cable and run their hand down it, and it would just all come off in their hands. So that was the clear problem we had with it. So we've replaced it all with newer, tough cable that is known good and UV stable, etc. But we took the opportunity to also shield all of the antennas up there. We've had some discussions with the school because they are using wireless internet because Ingle Farm is fairly terrible for ADSL, for anyone who's around that sort of area. So they're getting their internet delivered via a wireless link to Mawson Lakes, and of course that's running on the same frequencies we are, so as well as all of their internal APs and everything else. And so they had to shield their devices to get any sort of performance. So we decided as a bit of a gesture of goodwill, we'd also shield whatever we've got to really ensure that the stuff that's in the middle for their internet has got the best chance at working possible. So that's what some of the pictures are of us replacing dishes, putting shield kits on. We also upgraded the link from Inglefarm to Good Shepherd to 802.11 AC for the twofold effect of hopefully getting a bit more performance, but also being able to reduce the frequency bandwidth usage, as we found with most AC links. So that was successful. So this was the old Good Shepherd dish, and this in itself is an interesting artifact to look at in the sense that this was up on a mast for 4 years straight. It was the first thing that went up. It stayed at the top and it's come down in terms of how well they weather. The plastic in the middle is all still well and good. It's changed colour a little bit, but it is not brittle. There's no other signs of rust on the actual parabola. The only signs of rust we actually have are back on where it was connected to the mast on another piece of steel. And we've seen this on a few of the dishes that they start to rust on the back there. But again, it's only very minor surface rust after 4 years. So a lot of our equipment doesn't even end up lasting that long because it's replaced due to newer technology. So that's fairly impressive in itself to see that what they've designed there has worked well, unlike the old coax builds we'd have where cockies would eat through it and amalgamation wasn't right and water would get in. So that's quite neat. So yeah, the rocket dish has got the big rocket shield kits, even though one of them was a little bit experimentally installed because it's not quite, it was a different type of rocket dish. So that was, oh, there you go, just Sam Burney working hard. The AC link, the link from Good Shepherd Inglefarm previously was in 40 megahertz. It did about 40 megabit of traffic both ways. We're now with the AC link able to drop that back to 20 megahertz, so half the bandwidth, and we're doing about 60 bandwidth throughput. So we've increased the throughput, it's a little bit more reliable, and the bandwidth has been reduced, so we've got a little bit more space to play up there to ensure that all links have a bit more free space. We did run into a bit of a hitch that the power beam on the 750 UP there is being a little bit dodgy, and we're not quite sure if it's the 750 UPs, if it's the cabling, the power beam. We've had to force some negotiation rates on the Ethernet cable, and it is working, but there's some plans to replace that with some gigabit routers now that we're starting to get a bit more bandwidth through there. So it's a bit of a normal exercise upgrade. There wasn't much that we had to do fancy. It was just recable each thing, align stuff. It was good to have a look at how well some of the collars and stuff have held up. We've got some photos. These were the very first generation of a lot of different builds, so things have been improved since then. And while there's fairly decent rust on a few bits and pieces, everything still moved freely, nothing had locked up, so that was all quite good. So yeah, it was a good day. We had 7 of us out there all at once, so that's one of the larger maintenance jobs, but yeah, Inglefarm is one of the larger builds. And it took us about, I think, 5 hours, 7:30 to 1:30. So yeah, can't complain too much at our efficiency. Aside from little bits of rain, it was yeah, fairly well uninterrupted, solid work. So jump on the gallery if you want to have a look at some more pictures of the various infrastructure bits. You know, we don't have this much shielding or technology at any other one site yet, so it's interesting to have a look and see how everything's going. In terms of the performance on shielding, I haven't done too many quantifiable numbers on the signal levels yet. We realigned a couple of the rocket dishes, which has helped a bit anyway, so that coinciding with the extra shielding is hopefully only going to help us going forward, but we'll see. We're still learning a lot of the shielding stuff. The guys with the AC gear have been playing a bit more, so overall quite a cool upgrade, and hopefully we won't have to recable Inglefarm again. Hopefully. So that'd be the upgrade, and check out the Airstream YouTube channel if you want to watch that little clip, if it's that exciting to, there you go.
Who is that guy?
Master
Hey, I'm
Justo.
holding that mask up.
Yeah.
Falls
I'll
over
Photoshop
without
the wires out for you.
Yeah. And you can Photoshop out the brackets as well.
Yeah, super Justo. So that'll be Inglefarm.
Great job, yeah.
Thanks.
I
Did you
guess
say
I'll,
that we realigned UniSA and got
yeah,
yep,
slightly better signal.
like 8 dB out of it?
It's still not as good as it could be. If we had some long ladders, we probably could have actually tweaked things a bit further, but we got them better, so that's all that really matters.
Much worse.
Hmm?
Afrikaans and all the way out much worse.
Yeah, so
Than
it's,
what they used to be, or?
All the way especially.
we have to go back and do some router upgrades, so we'll do some more tweaking now that we're hopefully with a bit more.
Fasten it together with a ladder.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
another way to do it.
I'll get you a
Was
ladder.
that aligned for Port Adelaide like before? Is that what, is that?
No, it's just been
It's
realigned.
not all the way perfectly both this time and last time, but UNSA was way out.
Yeah.
When we adjusted the
Because wasn't it, it was moved to Mawson Centre or something, wasn't it?
down the bottom it's going through trees with both lengths. So
Yeah.
we adjust for Otter Way again as best we can, then we adjust for
Yeah,
Mossy
yeah,
Lakes. And in the end what we ended up doing is aligning best with the Otter Way,
Yeah.
then going halfway between Otter Way and Mossy
So
Lakes.
you just
So
need-
then both are not perfect.
Just need another ladder, yeah.
Yeah,
move
so we just
it
need a longer ladder so that we can align to Ottawa at the top and then get up and adjust Mawson Lakes separately, because they're the only two of interest on that mast.
Yeah, and it's incredible. The trees have really grown in the Mossy Lakes direction. It used to be clear on sight, you now can't see this. You can't
And
see
Ottawa,
Yeah,
the,
well, you could
tree
stand on
that's
there and you
local
could
tree.
actually go, oh,
You
there
can
it is,
see-
yeah.
You can see the building before you can't see it anymore.
Wow,
From just standing there. It's actually high to head height now.
that's massive, yeah.
So
That's
if
massive
you
difference.
can get best I think we could get is like an X62.
Very exciting for the stream.
Well, I used to be really good. I used to be really like 40 something.
Do you
like
chat
that.
about your AC stuff just there?
I used to be like neg 40 or something.
Valerie Turingi stuff, whatever, network updates, because that's been since last meeting, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, right, talk about the last meeting.
Did you?
So we didn't get right.
Is there any other network stuff?
We just
Not
couldn't get a
really.
single run load.
Yeah,
So once
Trees
one
again,
run
you
was
think?
most importantly was just
I think that's really all that's happened.
priority.
trees again, anything?
That's it, really?
So I think that's sort of the network updates for the last month.
And then, so it was
Cool.
about-
I'll just segue to something else quickly, and then
Handball to Troy.
Oh, looks like you did a really good
yeah, I
job.
forgot to bring this up earlier.
So a long ladder that was safe to lean up on the
Yeah,
mast
yeah.
would be the way to go to fix that properly.
So I was just going to quickly bring this one in, and this is something that Nathan identified about a month ago, and I'm not sure if we talked about it at the last meeting.
No, we
because
didn't.
it wasn't in time for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, an opportunity for some funding is available through, it's state government, your say scheme, and up to $50,000 for community-based projects. So the initial idea was, they've split it up into regions around South Australia. The first couple of ones, there was one for Port Adelaide region, and that was the one that Nathan was hoping to get something happening for. I mean, obviously that's his area, but we also have a bit of a dead spot out at Port Adelaide, so it would be great to get a bit more activity out there. And as you know, we lost one of our fairly major nodes a few years ago that was quite prominent in that area as well. So a fairly general proposal was put together at the moment. We were tossing around some more specific ideas, but in general, we need to be able to build some key sites in that area, and without knowing exactly what kind of buildings are available or that we could get access to through the council and state government, it's hard to kind of exactly plan that. So the idea is, we know very well what these kind of projects cost. We've done all the planning in the past, and we've got the procedures in place for doing these builds. The equipment is a very fixed kind of cost as well. So we've put some general costing into it, and that was, we lodged that a few weeks ago. So what's going to happen is that this proposal is then publicised on their website, and the link, I think it's just sa.gov.au/yoursay, and this is for, so I've got up, the one I've got up is for the northern suburbs, and now this is still open. Submissions are closing on this Friday. So I've got a basic proposal put together that we could also submit to that one, but I'm also putting it out there if you guys have got any specific ideas. I know we've got a couple of nodes up north. Port Adelaide Enfield is, Playford and Salisbury Council. So the previous submission I did last week was for Port Adelaide Enfield, so that's already in, and voting for that one will open up this Friday. What they do is go through a period of community voting, so we got to get the word out there and send all your mates over to this website so that they can push it up to the top of the stack, and then they have a committee of people that will select which of those top proposals will get the funding. So hopefully we can get up there and get some get a bit more money out of it, because as you know, we can throw these kinds of things together pretty quickly if we've got the funds. So it gives us a good chance to push out into the Port Adelaide region again. But this one, so this one on Friday is for northern suburbs, City of Playford and City of Salisbury. Now I know nodes like Buckland Park, EARC, and I think it possibly even extends to Gawler. I don't know if someone can quickly just Google what that council region covers again.
Yeah.
But it's all the way across there through the DSTO and around that region. And I'm pretty sure that there's some nodes out there that we could either improve on or put some new nodes out there either way. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys if someone can get me an idea on a specific project to propose. Otherwise, we can always submit something more general and, you know, look into that planning phase a bit harder later on. Buckland Park is an obvious one because I know he's still building that at the moment. We recently did the upgrade at EARC, so that's pretty solid, but I'm sure we could, you know, we could do something. Maybe need some shield kits, for example, you know what I mean? So put your minds to it, and if you've got anything in the next few days, at least before Friday, let me know. Yeah, and otherwise I'll push out all the information on how you can get to this to do the voting and all of that. And I think it takes a couple of weeks before we hear anything about what's happening. So
There's Campbelltown as well, I think, as well. Yeah? City Campbelltown.
what? There's another one.
Well, I think we were talking about on the night. There's still plenty of other councils that are, helping out. So
Yeah, well, there's a few other ones still open. No, the other one that's still going is Mid North. But that's quite regional. That's out in the way up north. So yeah. Anyway, jump on the site and have a read if you're more interested in that. But yeah, I'm pretty much heading that up at the moment, and we'll put it out on all the social media and everything as well when that's closer and there's more information at hand. So who was next? I think it's Justo time. You're gonna fly in here on your mast.
My last.
Yeah. You were going to tell us about the stumbling kit?
That's sand time.
Well, now it's your time as well. Why did you point at me? Okay, you just got to plug it all in for Sammy Boy so he can get his thing running. Do you want me to put it on here, or are you going to plug that into here? Please hold while we switch computers.
No, all right, move it.
We can make this.
Oh, it's too much of lead.
So this is our stumbling kit for those of you who haven't seen it. You can't see it anymore, but if we scan upwards,
It's taller than Justo.
It's a lot taller.
a couple of wireless Ethernet bridges, devices pretty much back to back, so you can do a full 360 in both spectrums, yeah? 5 and 2 gig. This is available for loan or hire.
Loan. Spend on loan.
It's just called 1-800-JUSTO. Is cool.
And awesome.
Didn't you spend an hour preparing this before we got here?
Yeah, I unplugged it, so
Rusty can't say.
the battery was
You
going
should put
flat
the
now.
camera on Sam now so he starts sweating balls of lead. So we're just getting it set up.
What are you looking for?
Stumble kit.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's dropped.
The connection on the power splitter is really dodgy,
Okay.
and the wire.
Working fine all day. Oh, I've had this problem with the battery before, actually.
So the basic premise here is from a web server.
Justo, can you just plug it straight in the power supply?
I can, yeah, no problem with that.
It'll talk to the devices, it'll do scans, but it will also remember the results of the scan. Am I
You're
right?
still on the 2 gig, yeah?
Yeah. That is correct.
Broken.
Wow.
And that was a
Grabbing, here's grabbing my there's an air gateway in my backpack.
This is not powering up the whole lot.
The air gateway blew up.
No, I didn't blow up.
Oh, you've tried to put that in amongst it, okay.
meantime, does anyone want to have a look at the network? See anything in particular?
Can you go to Ridlington? Tom, can you
Yeah,
go to
I'm going to do the other way.
Sorry, mate?
Ridlington?
Ridlington, yes.
Maybe your laptop has battery.
There's pictures of that as well on
Oh,
the.
I wasn't playing much.
Care about mine.
Yeah, it's fine. We can get, yeah, I'm going there.
Sean would have probably been.
I should power up.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, Ridlington. Yeah.
Willie's last one.
There it is there. No, this is the live. Well, they've been adding it to this, I hope.
What was the last import?
Never.
Okay, Gordo or?
Like 2 meetings ago. I don't know, there's a Ridlington node there. What's that?
Yeah, there's no links or anything.
I think it's a DIDS.
Well, that's you guys' fault. You should be putting them in here. Come on.
You told us not to put him in there.
Hey? Did I? No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Because you're gonna import
he's
it.
going to import anyway.
Okay.
You need to tell us official imports.
No, I didn't realise that. I thought you were editing this.
Phil,
I haven't touched it.
backbone node. When do we get backbone something?
Just zoom
Yeah.
in again. Troy?
Sorry, what?
Zoom in again.
You can't assign backbone links.
Yeah, I can.
You get an email back.
Why don't you just tell us about the Ridlington node so people can get excited like I am?
Because I don't know anything about it.
Move
Who
it all.
knows?
DIDS is done.
Ah, damn. Okay, there's a new node at Ridlington. That's all we know.
Oh, there you go. Chris had a part.
Yeah.
Come tell us about it.
See it now?
Are there pictures in the gallery? Or?
Yeah, pictures on the
Okay.
gallery.
Oh, okay, let's see if we can find that.
It's got a couple of sectors on there,
Explain away.
Thought I opened it before.
and you can pick up
Is it?
St. Roger's Place, Bravo, spoken to in 5 gigs, so hopefully you will see it. And
What? Has he still got a node running thing?
No, it's just
Oh, this is that
internal
10-year-old.
stuff. So it's
Nice.
close enough that he should better see that from inside.
So it's
Okay.
that 10-year-old member that you're just chatting about.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's epic.
Where's the sectors pointing? Like, where are they?
Northwest and southwest.
What's it connected to?
Hermitage at the moment.
Oh wow, that's a long way.
Yeah.
Wow.
It would see that pretty well. Everything would see that
He
pretty
thinks
well.
that whole quite nice.
With
Yeah.
with a nano bridge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why are the sectors so low?
It needs more
That's
iron.
the mast.
That's the
The mast.
That is the whole mast.
Oh, that's an Omni on the top.
Yeah. A whip.
Okay, I thought that was mast.
You also thought it was 12
It's a
meters.
CV
Can't be 12 meters then.
from the ground, maybe.
Cool.
Couldn't get Septon very good on that side of the shed, but it shows like that on the other side of the shed, so there may be another mast going up
Yeah.
here.
Why?
I know what that lady was.
Because I like holding it in the air.
It's just like you're herding sheep or something.
I
I
like
think.
holding it.
Ooh, like holding it.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Fine,
cool.
no
So, for the general idea, it's there, just off South Road, pretty much. Actually, that's only 2 streets away from where he was, right?
Yeah.
That's classic. Hi, Sam, I am.
Well, that's a very old import. Oh, no, it's not.
I like it like that. Ready?
Okay.
Alright, we're ready.
So you're gonna have to hold that all night.
You can move over if you want.
That's right.
So he does.
This is all live, folks.
Oh, cool.
I'm watching Sam plugging the HDMI into his USB port.
Break it.
I'm going to find it. That's what I do.
We have a node DB for a reason, right?
Yeah, it's right. It doesn't satellite mode.
It's a good point. Are we getting satellite mode and node DB?
Satellite.
Don't pressure him. Don't pressure him.
If you want to come and have a
We'll throw something at you.
session with me, we can work out how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come sit with you one night.
Good.
If you want.
Doesn't matter.
Actually, there's a lot of other things that we should do before that.
Like get it live.
I want to
Just
get you
tell
live in a minute.
This will do. Okay. So who's familiar with stumbling with Winbox?
What's Winbox?
So Winbox is the tool that you use to connect to MikroTik radios to configure them and stumble with them.
Oh, unread me or.
Oh great, now I've just disconnected the battery go flat.
No, I'm not connected to power.
Great.
Yeah, normally you don't go stumbling with a 240 lead up the pole like this.
It's been done before.
Hey, I've got stumble kits with DC adapters on.
How about that? Okay, great. So normally when you're doing a stumble,
I'm gonna stand up to the.
you see this, the normal
Just don't know what the one is.
MikroTik stumble tool,
Yeah.
and it will sit there and scan away. But Yeah, one of the problems with this is that you're not really storing any of your best results, or you're not sort of getting in. Once this is gone, once you close this, it's gone. Unless you're sitting there taking a screenshot every however many seconds,
Or taking a photo with
or taking a photo with your phone, or whatever you're doing. You can't really just wave it around and get a good idea of what you see the best. So I've put together a little PHP app which hooks into the RouterOS API. So I can run in a web browser, on an embedded router, on a Raspberry Pi, or on maybe an Air Gateway or something like that. And yeah, we can just go in here and make a new survey.
Oh, that's new. I haven't seen that yet.
Right, so we can just go in there and then it'll start polling.
Just scanning on the router board. Does that matter?
do both at once.
Can you really?
So yeah, it'll just sit there and scan away, and
Is it looking for the best signal from each one, or is it
it's
just the last?
it's saving it every time, but in here it's just showing the best and the previous that it saw.
Right, yeah.
But we do have all the data for every
Okay.
scan that it does, so later on I can do some more reporting and work out pretty graphs and best averages and how many times you see something, and if stuff like that.
Yeah, because sometimes you get a really good thing, but it's only
Sometimes you
like
get a
one
really
sample.
good like blip of signal for 1 second, and you wonder where did that come from. It might be a reflection from somewhere. So this gives us a way to sort of analyze all of that. Yeah. So once that's finished, in the interface, just get a list of all the stumbles that we've done, list of results. That's sort of about it for now. But yeah, we've got a list of all the sites that we saw and the best signal for each of them, so we can sort of, go and anyone can, in the way, just as yeah, so anyone that can sort of look at this can go, oh, they did a stumble.
How do you know if it was on 2 gig or 5 gig?
Well, at the moment, it's only connected to one device.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, you could just type
So
it in.
really when you do the survey at the moment.
Yeah, I
Is it
mean,
showing the frequency on the
on the
survey?
normal, yeah, I haven't really done anything with this overview thing, but yeah, on the other survey screen, it is,
Shows the correct.
yeah.
Then you can tell.
They just command plus it a few times.
Sorry?
Command plus it a few times. Any talking.
Yeah, if we go back and do another survey.
Oh, so it's not showing channel, the frequencies.
No, it's not showing the frequency, but yeah, we can put
We
that
can
in
add
now. We're getting all of that information from
Yeah.
from the device and saving like everything we can.
You probably want to store all of that in the.
Yeah, it is. Everything that the API gives us is being stored. It's just not necessarily being shown. Yeah.
Interesting, it's only picking up one thing.
Turn.
You should be seeing the Parkside
Should
API
still
later.
see
Oh,
See
do
if-
minus. I bet you it removed itself off the screen. No.
There'd be more listing down.
Hmm.
Alright, it's working. It's updated.
Yeah, so that's the general sort of idea.
It just only stumbles for Parkside PS. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's probably connected to it.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's just being saved into a SQL database, so it's sort of a pretty standard sort of thing. A flat, easy file to copy somewhere and work with the data if we need to. So yeah, it's just saving our surveys, and then we have scan results as well.
Can we import it into NetStumbler?
Maybe.
Oh.
No, we're gonna make a web interface in this number just for.
Piano
Yeah, so this is what we're saving at the moment. So every
It's actually saving everything.
Like how everything on the same channel. Oh, it's still the
it's all
same.
the same up here, right? But yeah, also saving like the time sim stuff, so we can go in and see like, oh, if we got a blip of an AP or something like that. Yeah, channel width.
So now all I do is get a compass.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
along
if we
the
had
compass
something to
bearing.
store compass bearing, we could feed into that as well.
Yeah, well, that's a rough expansion plan. There's a GPS receiver and electronic compass of some kind.
Why don't you
similar
just
connection.
strap your phone onto the phone?
Yeah, if we could hook into that as well, it's an option. But, to be able to really take it to the next level so we know exactly where you stood, where you were aiming, within a few
You could
degrees.
run that on an Android,
Yeah.
so then you've got access to the sensor. I'll
Yeah,
work,
the
I'll work
idea-
on that patch.
But yeah, everything is it's just PHP, so it's pretty easy. I mean, the API code is to read from the device itself is 25 lines. and most of that, but to read from the board is that much.
So why were you up all night doing it? So you could have done it in like 10 minutes.
Make it look pretty.
Why it cost us so much?
For what? Just free. You're not paying me, are you?
Paying you out.
Yeah, so there's also, I've done it sort of in a generic way where you can plug in multiple adapters. I know Sam over there was working on a Ubiquiti reader, so you hook into like a NanoBridge or something and try and use that to do a scan and whatever else, so we can work on some stuff to swap different devices in and out if we need to.
Can it do more samples per second, or that's the limit of the devices? Or?
There is a setting in RouterOS, but I found that the time that I had set, which was every like 2 seconds, was sort of the best.
I don't think it goes either one anyway, does it?
Yeah, I think it goes to
I
1.
think one is the quickest.
Yeah.
And can, from the API, can you limit it to a certain frequency range?
I mean, you have to put that in here, but you could just go and log in and set a scan list as well, and then it will honour that scan list. It's
So
not.
API could set that.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course it can, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I mean, any features, then you could just lock
Yeah.
it down and
So when you put that into scan,
integrate it into the database or pull down for a
No, you can't make that.
it's funny that it's
Hopefully
yeah.
it's been updated.
But when you put in scan, when you just
It'd be good if
Well,
location
putting to the air gateway that's up here.
you had the bearings
So-
as well, that'd be pretty cool.
okay, but I'm talking about this particular
It's not such a good thing.
You would have to, connect to one XXT the same way that you do now, and then swap or.
But you can't connect that once it's still in scan.
No.
So
That's why it's a third gate.
Yeah, as soon as the script ends, it cancels the API. As soon as you lose the web interface, the web connection to the API, it drops any actions it was performing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is just sitting there running as like a request in the background, right?
Mhm.
See it going there. Just scan. Yeah, it's just returning data straight from. It's going to be like, what are you trying to scan? Yeah, so it's just returning like raw data straight from the API. So.
So this will be available to Estra members the day after the ASN2?
Yep.
We can tie it in with that.
It's the week
Yeah, he's
after,
going to integrate.
it's the week after half three.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yes,
good to
that's
me.
right.
The code is somewhere on
Jet
Airstream.
7 comes out.
So if you have any idea, I think the
the
thing
only
we were
idea is
the thing we're looking for at the moment is something that we could use to run the software on. I mean, we've had a few ideas, but someone might have some kind of brilliant piece of tech that we could run.
Those new Intel boards.
Yes,
Galileo.
actually. Yeah, that's
I don't know
actually.
what it's called, but they just
Yeah.
come out at $200 for a good one. It's like 100 something for a
You
good
don't need the CPU.
the other thought that I had as well was
No,
getting
you're
like
actually
a.
way over kind of this, but
Yeah.
You're running PHP, so you actually need to and Flash.
they're probably still very overkill.
Yeah, those are, absolutely.
What I think is Raspberry Pi with a touchscreen or something, or
Something.
auto boost or web interface, and you can just hit go, select the interface, make it really user-friendly.
Yeah, so I mean, it just depends. But yeah, like I said, this is saved, and we can get some other tooling to like analyze stumble results and stuff like that to make it easier for someone just to go up and wave it around for a few minutes and see what they see, and then it's all saved offline. So
Killer.
yeah, patch is welcome.
So with a 3G seminar, if you want to upload to ASM2, so.
Sure.
Yeah, so you can go to the node and be like, I want to stumble.
Want to stumble this one?
Yeah, I was just saying, if you had where you were, like position information, and that'd be pretty useful.
Yeah, very cool.
Gonna look into the second radio on the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
Run
cool.
live all the time.
Power beam.
Yeah, they have 2 radios. That's how you can air view and have the connection
Interesting.
connected at the
You
same
can
time.
do site server and all that sort of stuff without interrupting your link.
So we're gonna need 50 megabit more of traffic on Airstream just for all these stumble across.
Yeah, I don't know if someone wants to give me access to a power beam to connect to and play with. Why not?
5?
If you can find mine, it's default username.
The one
I'll ask
sitting
them.
on my floor at home.
Done.
If you can
The
find it.
new AC power beam.
Oh, so they say.
Yeah.
You can still have it though.
Yeah.
Okay, baby, not that I don't think I can.
Cool. Any questions?
Very
Any
nice.
more questions?
When will it be available live?
Yeah.
It's a
It's on.
concept.
The code is on my GitHub account right now, right? GitHub.com/SamGreenwood. But
So you
It obviously-
email that to members and we can.
yeah, obviously it still needs a lot of cleaning up. But yeah, it's just using even for this, I'm just using the built-in PHP server to run it. So it's all just single command PHP, and it's all
So you're accepting PRs then?
accepting PRs. Yeah, you're gonna send me plenty. I'll make a zip file available for download.
What is paid?
What? You'll have what?
You'll have crypto up there. Good luck, that's the result.
Cool, thanks for that.
Please pay Sam Group $55 to unlock your stumble results.
Potentially a membership code to unlock this game.
Alrighty, so is there any other network related ideas that we need to discuss today?
Did we show members the stuff we added to the ASM2, the devices? We didn't show them, did we?
Possibly not, no. That was after the last meeting. So yeah, after I gave Justo a bit of a tutorial on how to do it, he went crazy and updated a whole bunch of stuff in the Node database.
Like crazy, just did data entry for 5 hours.
It didn't take 5 hours.
It did.
Then he went and wiped it.
Yeah, then I went and deleted it. 'cause I
Well,
didn't
no,
like
I
it.
didn't. So there it is. Just to give you a taste of the visualization layer for
Did I
the
have another-
radios. So there's the 4 sectors at Highgate, and the
No, it's just a.
that is not a Ken Botom 24 dBi, is it?
No.
Yeah, it is actually. Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right, that's awesome.
So show them the device list.
Yeah, but he also spent hours and hours trawling all the data sheets for the radios and antennas, so that you can get a huge list like that. And of course, when you pick one of these and assign it to that connection, we can then use the information from the data sheet to calculate the IRP, for example, based on whatever radio you've got and the antenna connected. You need to input here the TX power that you've got it set at. And from that information, it's quite simple to work out if any of your links are potentially running over limit.
It logs in and turns powder.
It could very well do that. But yeah, it also allows us, we can apply that then to the link profiling and viability analysis as well. So there's a fair bit of cool stuff that can be done, but obviously,
Yeah,
That's-
another thing we do is the interfaces on the devices. So when you add a device, I actually automatically add the interfaces that you see you make you can assign.
yes, that's right.
So and it does that for routers as well.
Everyone's in the Australian National University.
That's
When's
nice.
this location?
All the
set?
nodes are at the moment.
Cambridge suburbs.
Yeah, so what that feature is, if you pick something like a 750 UP, for example, when you add that device to your node, it automatically adds 5 Ethernet ports onto it, right? If it's got PoE or not, that's also flagged. So pretty much all the information that's useful to us, Justo has put it together and it's now been imported in here. That feature where it adds the interfaces isn't actually enabled yet, but that's the intention with that data to do that. And we can also use it for, you know, the intention is to be interrogating these devices from the network. So once you've named the interface on here, or it could scrape the device and tell you what interfaces are available, and then you can assign them on here. Either way, we're trying to get some kind of parity between this data and the real world. So yeah, it's getting closer to doing that.
So where does one add feature requests?
Add a what, sorry?
Feature request. I've got a few really easy basic ones. Just do
To my email inbox, I
I can
guess.
just patch the code for you.
To my inbox.
Gotta add a use sort.
A what?
Just a sort.
On these?
So that the nodes are listed in alphabetical order.
Yeah, I mean even these aren't sorted actually, which is annoying.
It's not sorted and there's no search, so you've got to
PDR3.
It's
Or-
control F, isn't it?
got to scroll for shades.
Yeah, look, that's the thing though. Yeah, I mean, if people were using it, I'd hear that. So that's got to come back to me. Justo sat down with me for 10 minutes, and just the process of me going over this with him, we fixed a bunch of things already just doing that. And you know,
I think you'll find the quickest way to get people using it instantly is just flick DNS over to this. As soon as DNS is on this, people will only use this.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's.
I'd say it's nearly ready enough.
Would you say there's any deal breakers at the moment in there? That,
Yeah, can't add backbone links. That's it. And the location data.
Oh, okay. I've actually got that working on my copy.
Okay,
That
and
needs
the
to be
location
updated.
data. That's it.
That's what we talked about last time, and I fixed that at that time. So yeah. it needs an update, but apart from that, yeah. And I'll sync the data from the old DB
And
over.
then the bug requests will come flying in, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's the last thing I want, they see.
Then you can release the code.
Did you do any other ones besides Highgate? Last.
No, I just messed around with Highgate and then I messed around with some other ones, but they got wiped with the
Okay, yeah.
if you look at maybe AFC, I've already did some testing there in Paradise, where my triangle is.
Yeah, your triangle.
The AFC
As
knows
that
it.
arrow, you're trying to launch.
Yeah, at the moment you don't see the radio overlay. It
Like a
makes-
slingshot.
Might have done for Paradise.
The radio overlays only come up when you click the node at the moment. I have experimented with turning them all on at the same time, just with random data. It actually runs fine, to be honest.
I'm
Just
more
look
of a
messy.
you just couldn't work out what go clear.
That's the problem, yeah.
And
So
you get a bad idea of what can actually be seen.
The
You need
view-
to mask it against a topology.
the view itself needs a bit more filtering at, like options for turning on and off client and backbone links, things like that, like what we had in the old one, pretty much. That'll make it a bit more user friendly, but yeah. That's the latest on that. Ross Trevor's got a few more links, I see. That's incredible.
Can we have more colours like the current
Exactly. You should really be able to. You should be able to pick your own colours. That's easy enough to do. So
one? Colours for background.
a few different colour schemes. Yeah.
Point to node, point backbone, and PP client.
Exactly. You could even make some themes for me.
Pink.
Pink and purple.
Pink, purple.
Do you like green and yellow?
The line dotty.
We've had a few new interested people down south again recently. And you may have heard a rumour about this O'Halloran Hill node in planning. We're hoping to get that up pretty soon, but especially in this area here near the reservoir and around that area, try and get some coverage out there. So if you're in that area, get in touch, because we've got potential for new members in that area at the moment. Hence, we're trying to get the O'Halloran node online. We're hoping that will see it. The plots look promising from there. But yeah, there's a lot of nodes out here that have been there for a while. And don't know if anyone here knows who those people are. Cloud Hacks. Yeah, so that's still happening. Tony's still busy down south trying to get things moving all the time, yeah. So all is well. But we're all pretty busy. I think the network team's been a bit swamped with other issues of personal nature, so there hasn't been heaps of network updates this month, but yeah, we'll keep working on it. Anything else, or should we call it a wrap?
Let's do Airstream stickers.
Stickers? Yeah, the stickers are still available. They're selling pretty well, actually. $5 a sticker. Can you give me one? Or
There's three. Get all three colours if he's got them.
3 colours.
The whole lot. It's useful.
Do you get a discount if you buy 3?
You get 3 stickers if you buy 3.
That's actually an amazing deal. Yeah, so $5 each. There's white, blue, and
Yeah.
no, black and blue.
$5 each or 3 for 15.
What's been the most popular colour so far?
Black.
Black.
White's good for cars.
Yeah,
got
white's good for
windows
your
and stuff.
windows. Yeah.
Stick them on the outside. Some people like blue.
Get on down and get one. I mean, you can get them from us here. We can send them to you if you want to email us, or someone can drop them off, whatever. We'd like to just get rid of them so we can get more. Because, yeah, we want to get it out there, you know.
And looking potentially at doing some other sizes so that you can do bigger ones for bigger dishes, smaller ones for routers and stuff.
Yeah.
That was just the same size we used to have, so we've just kept it up. But
It's a good size. It fits on most of the stuff we put on.
if, the more that sell, the more options we've got, so we're getting a few more.
It's good. I noticed it's good size for your laptop, I was going to say, but then I noticed you guys seem to be missing stickers here. What's going on?
Everyone's got new laptops, so we haven't got stickers.
Laptop upgrades. Alrighty, so catch us online. Keep an eye out for the funding expressions of interest and voting period, which will be coming up soon. And otherwise, we'll catch you on the IRC, or give us an email if you've got any other suggestions or comments. Thanks very much. See you next time.
It's $6. How many do you want?
How many do I need?
I don't know, 2.
Get 4 then.
4, okay.